Why is an electrified world a better world? Electric machines and motors are vastly more efficient than those that run on fossil fuels. In cars, for example, the process of refining crude oil into gas and transporting it for use entails an energy loss, waste, of 56%. And that's before you use it. Converting and transporting electricity entails a loss of only 5%, depending on how far you lie from the generation. With gasoline, once it's in your tank, getting that energy to turn your wheels loses another 70%, mostly through creating heat instead of torque. With an electric vehicle, you lose only about 18% if you include charging and inversion. This means that you use only 16% of your gasoline for its intended purpose of moving your vehicle, versus electricity using 77%. Even hydrogen cars, while much better than gasoline, only use about 33% of their energy for moving the car. So how can electrification change the world for the better? Altogether, the proliferation of batteries in electric cars and buildings provides opportunities for energy exchanges and analytics to ensure we can deliver cheaper and 100% clean energy before 2050. Electricity is also much less expensive. On average, a gasoline vehicle costs around 15 cents per mile for a 22 mpg car, and this seems to be more expensive by the day, while electric averages around $0.03. As our energy grids and homes shift to more renewable sources, this type of energy will only become cheaper and cleaner, helping to combat climate change. It also means not spewing poisonous gases at breathing level throughout our cities. So, from an efficiency, cost, and public health perspective, it just makes sense to switch to electric, as many industries are doing today. This doesn't just include consumer electric cars. In transportation, there is a dramatic shift toward electrification. For personal, public, and freight transportation, Tesla's sporty cars, Cybertruck, and semi-trucks have dominated the headlines in recent years. But these are only a part of the story. In China, for example, electrification of transportation is already widespread. In 2019, there were 425,000 electric transit buses in operation around the world. 421,000 of those were in China, where the number is projected to rise to 600,000 by 2025. In the US, most public transit buses still run on fossil fuels. But it's projected that by 2045 at least one-third of the country's 70,000 buses will be electric. 2 of Chicago's electric buses save the city $24,000 in fuel every year, providing significant taxpayer and Chicago air breather benefits. These are not isolated trends. In fact, according to the U.S. National Renewable Energy Laboratory, as much as 76% of vehicle miles traveled in 2050 could be electric. Aviation is another polluter, responsible for around 2.5% of all emissions globally. Electrifying aviation would result in a 90% cut in fuel costs, 50% lower costs of maintenance, and a 66% reduction in noise for takeoffs and landings, with none of the tailpipe emissions of conventional aircraft. While the electric aircraft industry is currently in its infancy, and expensive fossil-fueled fleets will not be retired overnight, the combination of rapidly increasing battery storage density, plummeting costs, and environmental regulations is predicted to cut aviation emissions 50% by 2050. Siemens predicts that by the same year, electric aircraft could be the standard solution for the industry. Electrifying the economy includes many other areas, including cooking, water heaters, remote generators, pumps, and other machinery, all of which is projected to increase overall electricity consumption as a share of all energy consumed, from 19% in 2016 to 41% in 2050. But because of the efficiency of energy transfer from electric goods, overall energy consumption is projected to decrease 21% by 2050. As this happens, more of our economic activity will become dramatically cleaner and less expensive, easing today's cost and regulatory constraints, which will enable new business models. Our vehicles and tools will also interface more with the digital world, enabling more insights, intelligence, and automation. All of the batteries required for this transition will need to be recycled and live a second life for as long as possible. Battery second life and recycling companies are rapidly scaling up to handle the upcoming demand in coming years, creating even more opportunities to create a world of sustainable abundance. Thanks for watching. Click another video to learn more.